what an eye-opener that was, this charade of an inquiry into the biggest changes in our voting system for over 30 years. I've been deputy chair of a number of Senate inquiries, and I was absolutely stunned this morning as to just the way witnesses were badgered, the way questioners and crossbenchers in particular were shut down, interrupted. It's clear that the Liberals and the Greens are incredibly nervous about this forensic examination that we are trying to undertake of this legislation. I mean, bear in mind, up to 3 million voters stand to be disenfranchised. More than 80 minor parties and independents stand to be confined to the dustbin of history. No more diversity in the parliament, no more minor parties, no more independents, and the minor parties and independents who are there are now going to be put out of business. This deal, this tawdry backroom deal, which has absolutely stunned so many of their own supporters, in order to wipe out independents and minor parties, is now being seen for what it is. We heard this morning from a number of constitutional experts, professors and associate professors, who seriously questioned the constitutionality of this particular legislation. They implored, in fact they entreated the senators and anyone else to launch a High Court challenge because of the way that this will disenfranchise so many voters and therefore influence the outcome of the next election. I also had the opportunity to ask the national director of the Liberal Party of when the next election will be, and just the way and what the impact this legislation will have on the election date. I was shut down by the chair and others. The witness, who was quite happy to answer these questions, but we were shut down on a regular basis. Senator Ricky Muir attempted to ask a number of questions and was held and shut down on a number of occasions, as were some members of the Labor Party who, quite rightly in this case, wanted to again forensically drill down onto just what this legislation means. Time and time again, witnesses put forward that if group voting tickets are a problem, if phrases like preference whispering and gaming the system or vote harvesting, if that's a problem, if they have a genuine concern about that's a problem, then allow voters to a much simpler and easier option, and that is to simply vote 1 to 6 below the line. And when that was put to a number of witnesses, it became very, very clear that the reason that the Liberal Party, the government and the Greens do not want optional preferential voting below the line is because really the wiping out of minor parties and independents is not a consequence. It is not a consequence of what might happen. It is an objective. That is their aim. And witnesses also expressed the view that in all likelihood we will end up with a 2.5 party state, almost the Americanisation of Australian politics, where you'll end up with just 2 major parties and a balance of power party of the Greens, but there'll be no more diversity. There'll be no more attempts by ordinary Australians and others to form a minor party or stand for election. They will be obliterated. This inquiry, this legislation, this unseemly haste needs to be seen for what it is. And I'm trusting that the voters, the electorate, will see it for what it is and respond accordingly. Thank you.